So hey guys, this is our second video. Hope you guys are all doing well, and let's get started on the second video, which is going to be talking about the United States of America, part 1. So first of all, we're going to talk about location, and to do so, we're just going to do some leading lines, which are going to help us organize our thinking. So yeah, these are our leading lines. So as we start, we just divide it by continents or like huge regions, and either United States is a country in the Americas, which are two continents on the west of the world, and they're a little bit separated, like by the Atlantic Ocean from Europe and Africa. So yeah, and the United States is actually located in North America, which is a continent itself. As we can see, the United States, sorry for that, takes a big part of North America. It's like the line in the middle. It takes a big part of the United States of America. It also has the Alaska region, which is really important, and it's really big. We also should mention that the United States is made of 50 states. Each state has its own government, and they all make a great country. So this is just a picture of the United States of America. And Libya, as you can see, the distance isn't easy. It's not easy to travel between the two countries. I had to stop 4 stops. I had to move from my city to Tripoli. That's 1 stop, and then from Tripoli to Tunisia, that's 2 stops, and then from Tunisia to Hamburg, which is in Germany, that's like 3 stops, and then from Germany to Washington D.C. And it was a long day. So moving on to weather, we're gonna divide weather to summer and winter, which makes it easier for us, considering these are like the main two seasons that come every year. So let's just start off by winter. As you can see, the north central part of the United States. Sorry for that. The north central part of the United States gets a lot of snow every year, since they're since this side gets is very far from large water substances such as the Pacific Ocean and the Atlantic Ocean. As you can see, the more you go south, the less it's cold, and I think that's all. So let's take a look at the map in the summer. As you can see, in the summer, the more when you go south, it gets hotter, it gets really warm, and it gets drier. And the more you go to the inside of the country, the more you go to the middle of the country, it gets drier, because the more you go from water substances, the more it gets drier. So we also need to consider that mountains help a lot with getting a lot of snow. As we can see, we have a lot of snow in the in the central part. We don't have a lot of mountains, which makes the amounts of snow not as much as these two sides, which get a lot of snow, and these are really cool spots for skiing. So history. This is gonna be a quick part which shows history, slides just moving on. So the first thing, Native Americans. America was a Native American land, and then it was divided into 13 British colonies. And then after that, there was the Revolutionary War, which happened in 1775, when Americans just fought the British people to kick them out of the country. And then we have the Declaration of Independence, which was in 1776, which just said that American people want to separate from British people. And then we have the Louisiana Purchase and westward expansion, which almost doubled the size of the United States, or tripled that. That was between 1803 and 1912, and it kept going. Then we have the Civil War, which was between the North and the South in 1861. It lasted for almost 4 years, I guess. Then we have World War I, which was in 1914, and it finished at 1918. The U.S. was involved in that war. And then we have World War II, which was between 1939 and 1945. We also have Vietnam War, which lasted from 1954 till 1975. Many people died in this war. And yes, I guess this was the last thing. Thank you for watching, and peace out.